Hey guys, Bjorn from Urban Street Freerunning.
And Michael from Urban Street Freerunning.
And we are filming a
Webster Sideflip tutorial. So as you know, our most popular content on this channel have been tutorials on the trampoline, so we decided to bring it up a notch and take them outside.
And if you don't know what a Webster Side is, we have a few clips to show you so you can understand what they are.
Enjoy.
You see how his leg is placed down? You only want to really do this when you're running up to an object and doing a Webster side off of something. When it comes to the ground, it's slightly different because you're not getting any height. You have to force that height on yourself. Usually, when you're doing a Webster side flip, you want to put your dominant foot on the object you're going to flip off of and keep your non-dominant in the back. And that non-dominant is what's going to give you that little swing so you can actually get that momentum to do the side flip. So Michael here is going to demonstrate what it's actually going to look like, and we're going to give a little slow motion preview of what it looks like with that swing. So as you can tell, when Michael got that swing, he kind of reached the peak of his leg. What I mean by that is, like, he couldn't reach any higher with that leg without destroying his balls. So that's when he did the flip.
Awesome. Which brings us to our next point, the rotation. The rotation is the scariest part. And for most people, it's one of the hardest parts because they don't know what to do. They freak out in the middle of the air and they fall and it hurts. I know from experience.
It does.
So whenever you're coming up for the rotation, what you want to do is you're already set with your legs out like that. You're already set with your legs like this, and your arms are kind of coming out like this to help you get your height. And you want to wait until you're up before you actually use this leg to push off.
It's kind of like Superman, but with one arm.
Yeah, and you want, as soon as you are in the air, that's whenever you want to spot your landing. Make sure you know what you're doing, because if you're just gonna look at the floor the whole time, you're gonna fall and it's gonna hurt.
Me personally, I think Webster sides are easier to do off of objects. Even if you're on a wall or running on flat and you put your foot on something and flip just like we do on this rock. You get more height, so you have more time to spot your landing, see where you're going. I'm not too experienced with doing them on flat, but Michael can actually explain to you how that's done better than I could. His way might be better than mine, and my way might be better than his way, specifically for you or your friends or whoever's watching this. So that's why we're giving you different perspectives and different, ways to do it.
So flat, it's way more difficult than doing it off of something, because it's like what Bjorn said, you're higher. Whereas flat, it's difficult because you're flat. You're not. It's hard to get momentum with a Webster or anything. I mean, it's super difficult. So with the rotation, like I was explaining over there, is as soon as you're at your peak, that's whenever you want to take your arms and go in for a tuck. So your legs is going to be lifting up like that, and then you're going to be lifting your legs up and using this hand to pull under this leg. So you're going to look like grabbing your legs in the middle of the air, or grabbing under anyway. And this leg that's kicking up is helping you get your rotation, so is this arm. This arm is going to help you pull under, and this leg is going to help you get height. So it's going to look a little something.
Like I said, I can't personally do them, but since I can't, maybe it'll give you a good example of me trying, and you can see how I did it differently and why I can't do it. And maybe that'll give you an idea of what you need to practice on if you're similar to my mistake. I've never really done this, so I might hurt myself, my ankle's injured, but it's worth the try because it's a tutorial for you guys. And I figured why not? I mean, I could learn from it too. If you already do the jump and the flip, you're kind of done. You just need to look at the ground and make sure your feet are gonna land. Don't like land on your neck. If you commit and you look at the ground and you pull your legs over and make sure your feet are aiming towards the ground, most likely you're gonna land. That's just how it works. I can't really give any good tips because naturally, when it comes to me, I finish the flip really quickly. That way I can spot my landing and just land. In terms of absorbing the shock from the landing, you can kind of just crouch, you can roll. It all depends on how high you are, it all depends on how skilled you are, and if you don't want bad knees, because I may get bad knees from all my hard landings. So just be careful with that. Know if you land hard, it's stressful on your knees, so that's why you do want to absorb the shock when it comes to tricks. Otherwise you're gonna grow up and your knees are gonna hurt. But other than that, I can't really give any good tips on landing because like I said, in my opinion, it's the easiest thing to do. Although, you saw me do the trick off the tree, it's slightly different because the tree's angled and you can even do it on a wall, but again, it's angled. So you kind of have to angle your foot and you basically do the same thing like it is on a rock, but you're gonna come at it basically at the same angle it's going. So the way I run at it is I run at it like this. That way I can get my foot towards the angle instead of away from it. That way I don't slip. It kind of makes sense if you think about it. I mean, if you're running while you're running this way and you try to flip off while it's going down, you're gonna slip. But since it's angled up and I run it at it towards it going up, I'm not gonna slip as easily. I have about a second before I start falling. So then I could do the takeoff just like it is on the rock. You can kind of get the idea from that.
So thank you guys for watching this tutorial. If you guys liked it and you want to see more tutorials that we have done in the past, make sure you check out the tutorial playlist. It'll be located somewhere right here.
And we really hope you learned something from this. We tried our best to give it very detailed. We're not very experienced with tutorials. We only done like 3 or 4 tutorials in our lives. So if you have any suggestions on how we can make them better, just comment below and give us a suggestion. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're also releasing more tutorials soon. Who would have known? We're doing Tutorial Tuesdays. So every week we're gonna have a new tutorial on Tuesday. Such as